Kumandra is a country where people and dragons lived in complete harmony. But then everything changed. Troons appeared. Troons are a plague without a soul and mind that multiplied by devouring other people's lives and turned those whom it overtook into stone. The dragons fought for the people with all their might, but they did not have enough strength, and then the great Sisadata gathered all her magic into a crystal ball and expelled the Droons. Those who were petrified came to life, all except the dragons. And Sisadata left only a crystal ball instead of herself. In theory, humanity was supposed to rally after that, but people thought differently and a war broke out between them for the rest of the dragon magic. Borders appeared in the country of Kumandra and the Dragonstone had to be hidden. But the suffering did not end there. The world began to die again, but this happened during the life of Raya. Raya's dad was the guardian of the magic stone, but now this duty has passed into the hands of Raya. The whole country of Kumandra was divided into 5 parts: tail, claw, fang, spine and heart. All these parts have been on very bad terms for very many years. But one day, Raya's dad decided to fix everything. He gathered everyone at his palace and invited them to have lunch together. Raya made friends with a girl from Fang. It turned out that they have a lot in common. Raya and Rhoda were obsessed with dragons and Rachel decided to show her the magic stone. But suddenly the unexpected happened. Rhoda abruptly pushed Raya and quickly ran to the cherished stone. Raya did not expect such a betrayal, but managed to quickly get to her feet and send a signal rocket into the sky. Maya's father understood everything as soon as he saw the signal for help. At that time, reinforcements from the Fang had already come to Rod, but the father also did not hesitate and was already standing with his daughter at the stone. After a while, the rest of the former Kumandra came to the stone storage. Each of the parts wanted to take the magic for themselves. Raya's dad offered peace to all parts of the former country. Suddenly, someone from the crowd shot right at the foot of Raya's father and the whole crowd rushed after the stone. Each person tried to snatch the stone from the other's hands. And at one of these moments, the stone was not held and it shattered. Thunder covered the whole earth and Troons came out of a hole in the rock. They turned one person after another into stone. The trunks were afraid of water and that's why all the people went to the river. Raya's dad was very badly injured and therefore he would not have been able to reach the river. He gave Rake the last piece of magic stone that could scare away the Troons and threw her off the bridge into the river. In a moment, her father turned to stone. And from that moment on, Raya began to look for the last dragon on earth who could help her. Raya was still looking for a dragon, and when she reached the end of the river, Raya decided to try her luck again. And so she managed to find a dragon. Sisadata thought she had overslept for one day, but in fact centuries have passed. Raya told me that the magic stone was broken. It turned out that in order to save the people of Kumandra, it was necessary to collect all the fragments of the stone. In total, the stone was divided into 5 parts. And the first place they went to was the tail. It was not difficult to get the stone, but it was much more difficult to escape from the Nomar. In an attempt to escape from Nomar and her assistants, they jumped on a ship and sailed to the next part of the country, the claw, for the next fragment. Raya was distracted and 2 pieces of glass were pulled out of her bag. Raya chased a group of thieves all over the city and eventually managed to take her loot back. But after a little thought, she decided to ask them for help. The little thieves had to distract the guards and Raya had to get into the house to pick up the shard. Meanwhile, Sisadata began to worry about Raya and went out into the city, although May forbade her to do so. One woman heard that Sisadata was looking for fragments from a stone and said that she knew where they were. Naive Sisadata followed the woman. But it wasn't that simple. 2 guards opened the doors in front of Sisadatu and she went into the house. A moment later, a flock of trunks flew at Sisadata. The woman said that she would release Sisadata only if she told where the 2 fragments from the stone were. At the most opportune moment, Raya bursts into the house, snatches the stone from the woman's hands and runs away with Sisadatu. Jumping into the ship, they found the thieves and decided that they would go with them. Meanwhile, the Fang was discussing the fact that the island is getting very crowded. It needed a lot of land to expand the territory. But it will be very difficult to protect all the people who live there on the mainland. Nomar offered to gather an army and attack Raya. Since if they collect all the fragments of the stone, they will be able to protect people on the new earth. Mom Nomar approved of this idea and gave the order to gather warriors. Meanwhile, Raya and Sisadatu were traveling by ship to the ridge. Sitting on the very edge, they started a conversation. Raya believed that no one should be trusted, and Sisadat, on the contrary, believed that everything in the world is bad because no one believes anyone. Raya was no longer trying to bring back the vast country of Kumandra, she just wanted to bring Dad back to life. The captain of the ship announces that they have arrived at the ridge. Suddenly Sisadata jumps out of the boxes and starts running away in an unknown direction. Raya didn't understand anything. She also jumped off the ship and ran after Sisadatu. It turned out Sisu wanted to prove to Raya that it is possible to earn trust even from the worst people. As soon as they came to the gate of the ridge, they immediately fell into a trap. But 2 minutes later they were freed by thieves and the captain of the ship. It turns out that the owner of this trap is the only inhabitant of the ridge and the rest have turned into stone. After a while, Nomar and his army came to the gate of the ridge. She said that the residents of the ridge should give Raya and then no one will get hurt. Raya decided to go out to Nomar and distract attention while she takes her friends to the ship. Raya and Nomar started a fight. Raya fought back as best she could, but in the end Nomar defeated her. Sisu was running past to the ship at that time and could not pass by. She turned into a dragon and protected Raya. And now the full team is sent to the Fong. Each of the team proposed their own plan. As a result, Sisu's peace plan was chosen. Nosmar and Raya decided to meet and talk. Namor wanted to deceive Raya and take all the shards and the dragon Sisu. But she failed and accidentally shot the dragon. In an instant, water began to disappear all over the earth. The Troons have entered the territory of the Fong. The whole team of friends she saved people and sent them to the river. The magic in the magic shards began to fade little by little. Raya broke into the Nomar's palace and they had a fight again, but this time it was much more serious than the last one. In a short time, a bright flame lit up the whole country. Everything worked out. All the people began to come to life, the water filled the rivers again. Suddenly something extraordinary happened. Huge flocks of dragons began to sweep under the heads of people. All the dragons started circling over the water and suddenly Sisu's silhouette appeared out of the water. Everyone began to return to their relatives, including Raya, all 5 parts united into one country called Kumandra.